Checkpoints is presented by pharmaceutical company GM Pharma.
The General Director of Galleria Tbilisi declares that the turnover of shopping mall increased by 5% during the summer. As of him, due to the fact that the shopping mall is located on Russouli Avenue, the majority of customers are tourists. Tbilisi notes that new brands are also interested in entering Galleria Tbilisi. We have 2 times less space compared to other shopping malls, despite the fact Galleria Tbilisi has more than 100 brands. 20% of them are exclusively represented in our shopping mall. After the pandemic, rental prices have been rising daily basis on the demand. At this stage, the average price of 1 square meter is $50, said Nicholas Tbilisi. According to the general director of the company, expectations are much better than in previous months because the best period for the retail sector is autumn and winter. In September, the growth trend is already noticeable and the increase will likely continue due to the start of school. Shavnabada's real estate and investment management company Redix opens boutique hotel Samzeo in Kvareli. The hotel under the same brand has been operating in Tusheti for several years, and this will be the second hotel in a row. Nanu Urshad, the director of Horeca Direction at Redix, declares that the official opening of the hotel is planned for November and the investment amounts to 40 million lari. Samzeo Kvareli combines several buildings, including 67 rooms of different categories divided into 3 buildings and a standalone restaurant with Kehedian traditional dishes. Our guests can enjoy an outdoor pool, a bar and sauna, Urshad said. According to her, the hotel area is being developed gradually and soon children's entertainment space, contact to tennis courts will be added. The company cannot yet specify what the cost of accommodation in the hotel will be and explains that the price in the hotel business is a dynamic process and depends on seasonality, occupancy rate, and etc. Shavnabada, General Director of Archi, declares that in 8 months 2023, the company sold more apartments than in the same period of 2023. As he said during his visit to TV program Real Estate Prospect, until now, the demand for their project exceeded the supply. As for the prices, the cost increased by 7% annually. The company does not expect any discounts. Real estate prices were growing for the first 8 months of this year compared to the same period last year. There were some ups and downs due to the known events, but in July and August there was some progress and the market was trending upwards. Prices increased by over 7%. We really don't expect a decrease because there is no tendency for this. Demand is growing. As for the competition, the environment is much more competitive than it was 2 or 3 years ago, which is only good for the customers, Shavnabada told BMG. Altandil Abdushalishvili, the founder of the private school Shavnabada and a member of the board of Association of Private Schools, declares that the tuition fees in private schools have increased by 10 or 15% on average for the new academic year. As he explains, one of the main reasons for the price increase was the growth in teacher salaries. As the representative of the sector say, due to the increased salaries in public schools, it's difficult for them to compete with the state in terms of human resources. In our case, the private prices have increased by 10%, and it's the same for other schools. There is an increase of about 10 or 15%. The state is a direct competitor of private schools, so we can openly say that we are in open competition with the state. We had to review the salary policy, which automatically led to increase the prices for the customers, says Abdushalishvili. Taktakishvili, the executive director of the Association of Private Kindergartens, Mnati, declares that the demand for private kindergartens has increased for the new academic year, which is determined by the current economic situation in the country. According to the director of Mnati, the value of private gardens increased as a result of the regulation adopted by the state. Tariffs have increased from 600 lari to 800 lari. The state regulation provides high safety and nutrition standards in line with Europe. Accordingly, the service has improved, which is related to additional costs, explains the head of Association of Private Kindergartens. Taktakishvili also talks about the challenges of private kindergartens. According to him, there is still a shortage of qualified personnel in the market, so the association plans to retrain personnel for the next year. The number of customers has increased by 150%. Nika Kandelaki, commercial director of wine company Crash 525, told BMDG. There is a good harvest this year, so we expect to process up to 150 tons of grapes. The number of customers increased by 150%. This year we have 17 customers, including foreigners. Some want Kvareli wine, while others prefer classic wine. We have customers from Kakheti, Kartli and Mnati, Nika Kandelaki says. According to Kandelaki, at this stage they are actively communicating with international market, which are likely to export from the beginning of the next year. We don't export our wine yet, but we have negotiations with several countries, including America, Poland and Baltic countries. We hope that our products will be available in these countries at the beginning of the next year, Nika Kandelaki said. Ragan Uptown Development, the owner of largest shopping center Tbilisi Mall, has published its financial report for 2023. According to the document, over the past years, the shopping mall's revenues increased by 12% to 29 million lari. At the same time, the number of customers of shopping center increased from 6 million to 7 million. The shopping facility includes 4 floors with 190 shops and 38 storage spaces. Guests of Tbilisi Mall can enjoy cafes and multi-level parking lot. The leasing department of Tbilisi Mall is actively working to add new brands as well, which will increase the interest of the new customers. Compared to 2022, in 2020, the sales of Tbilisi stores increased by 9% to 300 million lari. The company's management report says Tbilisi Mall was opened in 2011. The mall occupies 200,000 square meters, which includes international brands, fast food establishment, a hypermarket, Carrefour, a children's entertainment facility, a contact cinema, cafe, and 2,000 parking lots. Natia, the founder of confectionery Fusfusi, declares that the company had to adjust the prices recently due to the increase in the price of raw materials. According to her, confectionery has undergone a crisis period because summer is difficult for business in Tbilisi. However, the company did not stop developing and was able to add new products in the assortment. Given that the summer period was difficult for our business, it can be said that we did not get through it easily. However, we diversified the assortment of confectionery. We added Ajarian khachapuri, sandwiches, desserts, and etc. In addition, we added wedding cakes. In this regard, we already have orders in advance, said Obusidze. According to her, she's looking for additional staff in the pastry shop as she plans to spend less time in the kitchen and work more on business development. However, it should be noted that it's not easy to find staff in the confectionery field, says Obusidze. Fusfusi is located in Simon Kandelaki Street in Tbilisi. The initial investment for its opening was 35,000 lari. Currently, 2 people are employed in the cafe. In the near future, it's planned to employ 1 more person.
The Checkpoints is presented by pharmaceutical company GM Pharma.